Hello and welcome to another replay cast. I am Android, aka Annie, and I am so excited to be casting this game. I'm one step closer to my trip to TI, so thank you so much LDS Visual for submitting this replay. This is replay number 221-128-5582. I'm not casting this alone. I am being joined by the wonderful Bronin. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
I wish I could be an Autobot, but I can't. I cry every day because of it.
Alright, that is certainly an introduction. We are going to start things off by introducing the Dire here. We've got LDS Visual himself playing the Lion in the mid lane. We've got fucking Gamu on this Phantom Assassin that looks like Meta Knight. Down bottom...
That is a hard font to read.
Down bottom, we've got Evil Bob on the Slardar, following him up towards the mid lane. It's going to be Bagel of Doom on the Legion Commander, and then up here, still sitting in the fountain, all dinosaurs fear the T-Rex. Want to go ahead and introduce the Radiant?
Indeed. On the Giant Fishman, also known as Tidehunter, we've got Silent Howl. On the Gyrocopter, who is in a pirate boat, we've got Bradsta, 808. On the Alina, we've got Philken7, which is my favorite character of all time. And on Lifestealer, we've got Damn Peru Just Load.
Great name. We are also forgetting...
Yes, I did. They're not loaded in yet.
Yeah, Kalons is going to be on the Enchantress, finally hopping into base right here. Hopefully she'll get her stuff online. I think this is going to be a jungling Enchantress, as she is going to go ahead and pick up that Belt of Strength. So kind of quirky lanes. We actually got a dual off lane here with the Tidehunter, followed up with the Lina. It's going to be Bagel of Doom on the Legion Commander, supported by the Lion. I think that's going to be a really powerful lane. A lot of kill potential coming out there. But again, Tidehunter is super tanky and does opt to level that Kraken Shell first.
And this Lion is going to be doing some stacking right there very shortly. It's very good. Doing what a Lion does.
Yeah, it's good. They get the first pull and stack off, which is sometimes difficult. Going to be going for that minute respawn. There we go. Got the pull. Down bottom, there is going to be some aggro traded as we've got a Dazzle Slardar up against a Lifestealer Enchantress. I think Lifestealer is going to be A-okay just fine against all this. In fact, he might end up going for a kill on the Slardar, smacking him down to about half health. Dazzle has to pop a weave to keep him up in fighting shape. Meanwhile, up top, LDS Visual kind of baiting out a little bit of a chase here from Silent Howl, allowing for some nice free farm on the Legion.
The Radiant side have not put up a single ward anywhere on the map, so they're not going to have any vision for rotations or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, just in terms of vision, no one's holding on to wards either. Up in this mid lane, we actually have a mid Gyro up against a mid PA, which both of those heroes typically we see babysat pretty heavily in the safe lane. How do you think they're going to fare solo?
Against each other, I'm going to say Gyro is going to have the advantage here, and he is maxing out his missile as well, it looks like, so this is going to be not a fun time at all for backing Gamu. It's a weird name to say.
I'm just going to call him Meta Knight, because it looks a heck of a lot like Meta Knight. Down bottom, we have Evil Bob chasing down Kalans on the Enchantress. She's going to go grab up a bounty ring, but Evil Bob is ready with that crush, going to be going in, catching her out, smacking up, doing a bunch of damage. We've got the Wild Wing Ripper ready to go with the Tornado, but not going to be casting that just yet, as Evil Bob slithers up to the high ground. Going to be sprinting here, going back in for a secondary crush, but damn it, Peru Just Load has joined the party. There's going to be a rotation around the back line from all dinosaurs fear the T-Rex. Looks like a rage from damn Peru Just Load going in. There's going to be an early grave here on the Dazzle, but now we've got PA coming in, trying to slash up the Enchantress. I feel like First Blood is going to go the way of Kalans as he gets down the Dazzle. Now PA on the run here. There's going to be obviously no impetus just yet, so that distance isn't going to be a factor, but damn Peru Just Load does have the rage, wants to go in, wants to get a little bit closer, but they're underneath the tier 2 now. I feel like maybe the Wild Ring Ripper could have been going in with the Tornado, but for now it's going to be a very deep dive. Kalans might end up paying the ultimate price here, but just going to hop, skip, jump past the tier 2 tower into the Dire jungle.
Very, very greedy right there from the bottom lane, but I mean, they got a kill out of it, which worked, and they didn't lose anything, and I'm pretty sure Bradsta should have been doing something there. Like, I mean, he could have sent out a missile or anything, and that would have helped, but he was just content to farm away in the middle.
Yeah, I feel like any interception by the Gyrocopter would have resulted in more kills for the Radiant, but he is leading the last hit chart by double, so he's doubling up the Slardar's farm with 8-0. Maybe not so much importance being put on creep farm as there should be, as I feel like at, 3.5 minutes into the game, 17 should be the highest kill score of all.
Well, I know what they say, that in a pro game, that the perfect last hits is 10 a minute. And generally, as you go down each 1,000 MMR, you'll lose two last hits of each creep wave.
I have not actually heard that, like, precise calculation, but that seems pretty accurate. Down bottom, there could be an initiation here. Damperu just load, wants to go in onto Evil Bob. He's going to pop the sprint, and Kalan's only level 3, so mana is going to be real hard to come by now. Damperu just load is going to take a poison touch to the face. Evil Bob rotating around, goes in with the crush, is going to pop it right now. Damperu just load getting very, very low. They're going to be popping out a Shallow Grave onto Evil Bob just as a precaution, I guess, but Slardar able to easily secure the Lifestealer's kill, and now Kalan's getting very, very low, going to be taking another poison touch to the face. Evil Bob needs one more click, will get it, so it's going to be a double kill there for the Slardar in the safe lane.
She body blocked herself with her centaur.
I've been there, man. It's so bad. It hurts so much because you can see it happening, but you just panic too hard to micro.
You know, there's a reason I don't play micro heroes, because I suck at it, and I know that I would do it all the time.
Oh, up top, we've got a missile here committing very deep onto the tower, but now we've got a very fast frog going in. There's going to be a haste run on the gyrocopter. Missile connects onto Bagel of Doom. There's going to be a rocket barrage spraying out, doing a little bit too much damage onto the creep wave. Now, gyrocopter, oh, was that a gush onto a creep? I think that was. Bagel of Doom going to be taking another missile to the face. Finally, Dragon Slave coming through, doing enough damage to secure Gyrocopter, his first kill of the game. LDS Visual going to be sitting under tower, having to watch his buddy die.
That's unfortunate, but at that point, the only other thing he could have done is die as well, so you gotta make a call.
Nah, dude, you gotta Bonnie and Clyde this. When one goes down, the rest go down. Evil Bob gonna be sitting here in the lane. He's actually not doing ideal in terms of farm. Only 10 last hits here at 5.5 minutes in the game. But damn it, Peru just load. He's holding his own. He's got 13. Our big winner so far is going to be the Gyrocopter, who's been focusing a lot of farming potential on the mid. He now has his Boots of Speed, as well as an Aquila almost ready. So that's pretty good for him so far.
And you know what, Evil Bob does have 2 kills as well, thanks to the, I don't know, the massive dives, I guess.
Tactical positioning.
Those Shallow Graves, though, are really, really odd. He's been using them on people that aren't
Evil
even close
Bob
to
gonna be
dying
finding
yet.
out Cal Answer. It's gonna be a net there from the Dark Troll Summoner, and now Satyr Tormentor does toss out that ball of energy, forcing Evil Bob back, but now Enchantress and Dammit Peru just load, gonna be sharing some XP here. Damn Peru just load does hit level 5 off of that small neutral camp.
You know, it's gonna be interesting to see what items they build, because right now, I mean, there's nothing that's happened yet. I mean, the courier on the Radiant side hasn't even been flying yet, and it's 6.5 minutes in the game so
Evil
far.
Bob might be a casualty here. He's going to pop the sprint, trying to get away. Damn Peru just load. He's got the boots, going for the face boots, but doesn't have him just yet. Only 1 Blades of Attack. There's going to be a turn here. Now Enchantress wants to go in, does cast the enchant on him, so he's slowed down just a little bit, but Damn Peru just load, not quite fast enough to do it. I have a question.
Yes, what is your question?
Evil Bob now has that Gloves of Haste. Is he going for a Midas here as his first real item?
He might be going for a Midas, but it's more likely he's going for an Armlet.
That's what I couldn't think of. I was like, Slardar doesn't usually build Midas. What is it? No, it's going to be an Armlet, and that's pretty good. I like that, especially up against a Lifestealer, where it's all about how much damage can you deal in one blow, because he's going to regen. If you could whack 1,000 times in a row, but if you're hitting like a little pixie stick, it's not going to do anything.
I mean, a great thing about Midas against a Lifestealer as well is if you're good at toggling it, you can dodge like pretty much every single hit he puts out, because he just attacks so slowly at this point.
Yeah, well, it's a decent start here. If we take a look at the overall last hit score, it's going to be the top 3 in favor of the Radiant. There's some really good farming going on there, but Dire, they're trying to hold their own here. They're not too far behind in any respect. If we switch to net worth, Slardar's actually going to be on the top of the board, I think, just courtesy of those 2 kills.
Yeah, and you know what?
LDS
is doing a very good job of stacking and pulling as well. Like, he's keeping a lot of these creeps back and denying Silent Howl and Phil-Ken7 quite a bit of XP and gold. He's doing his job.
Absolutely. He's going in. I'd like to see him toss out the Earth Spike a little bit more casually. I think just getting that constant lockdown, maybe allowing just for Bagel of Doom to get up into the wave, last hitting without any fear for a little bit. There's going to be a Light Strike array. It does catch on to Bagel of Doom. There's going to be the Earth Spike going in. Meanwhile, Slardar gets a kill bottom, but up here, Bagel of Doom getting away with just a little bit of HP going on. So, yeah, Slardar, that's good. Slardar is now on a killing spree. Going towards this mid lane, Evil Bob wants to get something out of this. Can he go in onto this mid laner? Gyrocopter sitting pretty low, going to be casting a missile here onto the Phantom Assassin. Phantom Assassin might end up falling here, but Evil Bob coming in to split the damage, goes for the crush, picks up his 4th kill of the game. Fantastic play by that. Meanwhile, I totally missed what happened as Legion Commander does end up picking off the Lina, so...
Got a duel off.
Got a duel off as well. Fantastic for her. She hits her 6 and shows it with style as she now has 10 extra damage.
Legion right now looks like she's going to be going for power treads right off the bat, which is good. Lion was going for Tranquil Boots. I'm assuming still is. He bought an extra Ring of Regen and sold it.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe just assume you can buy Ring of Regen. Down bottom, we're going to see a Hex onto the Lifestealer, trying to go in, trying to lock him down. They get the Earth Spike. Slardar's here. They're going to feed him another kill, going in, but the Crush misses because of the Rage. Magic Community is not his friend, and a speedy Lifestealer is no match for a sprinted Slardar. So Slardar left to just farm as his prey narrowly escapes him this time.
This Evil Bob is having a fantastic game as Slardar. Like, they're not even rotating at all. The Radiant side are just content to let him go wherever he wants, and they do have some wards up now, so they can see some of these rotations, but they're not reacting to them at all.
Yeah, I mean, Slardar, when he's going in for another crush, but the Rage does pop it. Now, Evil Bob is going to be taking some tower shots here. I don't know what LDS Visual can do to save him. This is going to be a big feed if Lifestealer gets the kill. Going in, he needs the Earth Spike, but there's going to be just a less mana going in after the Hex onto Damperugislode, but that might be the time he needs. Damperugislode going with the Phase Boost to get the Earth Spike off. Fantastic job from LDS Visual, budgeting that mana to make sure they get the stun on the Lifestealer. Meanwhile, Gyrocopter does end up getting a kill in this rune spot after he picks up and activates a bounty rune. So I did miss that one, unfortunately, but I think the close call on this very, very high net worth Slardar is worth it.
That was a very nice Shallow Grave in the top there.
I am missing kills. God, spam those T-Tors. And now we are going to see Legion Commander does fall to the impetus of the Enchantress. That Satyr Creep doing a bunch of damage. One more impetus will get down the Dazzle. Dazzle goes in, uses the wand, trying to survive this up. Satyr Creep does now have that little energy ball shooting in, shooting through. Micro that Creep, man. Dazzle's going to go for the TP. Fantastic juke. Looks like he will get out. And now Enchantress might be in some trouble here. LDS Visual going in, has the finger. Does he pop it? Goes in for the mana drain instead. It's going to be an Enchantress maybe skirting out with his life, but meanwhile down bottom it's going to be finally the Phantom Assassin picking up a kill as she wants to go in onto Silent Howl, picks it up with the dagger. Meanwhile Enchantress is going to get very, very low here, trying to feed the kill to Evil Bob as he goes and jukes around the trees. My goodness, just finish her off already, end her misery. She's trying to go in, and finally Legion Commander finishes it off with those overwhelming odds. Now there's going to be a call down from the Gyrocopter, Bagel of Doom using the regen to get through this, and I think this is the end of the engagement.
Alright, now I can say, alright, so in the top when this all started, Bagel of Doom had the Laguna Blade use on him, and right as it was going in, the Shallow Grave went on, so it kept him alive for just a little bit longer, which was very good. And LDS is doing such a good job of actually keeping people alive, and that was a fantastic juke by Dazzle there too.
Alright, we've got a Light Striker right here onto Evil Bob. Laguna Blade committed as well. Bagel of Doom going in, uses the regen here to try to keep Evil Bob alive for now. There's another Grave committed, maybe a little bit too early, as we do have LDS Visual doing a great job body blocking, but is going to pay for that by taking impetuses upon impetuses. And Enchantress picks up a kill there. Light Striker right off the mark. There's going to be a duel here, as fantastic job by the Legion Commander. Ravage is spent by Silent Howl, but I think Bagel of Doom can outlive this. Goes in, secures another kill now. Bagel of Doom could be going for a triple. There's a Poison Touch Ear onto Callans. There's going to be some Sproinks to heal her up, but oh man, Slardar ends up falling as Gyrocopter goes in with a really nice call down, but Phantom Assassin making him pay, as Brad going to be trying to get out. No, one more swipe there from the Phantom Assassin's blade will send him back to the fountain.
Evil Bob wasn't paying attention there. He toggled just as the first missile went down from call down.
Yeah, this is unfortunate, but I think the kill score isn't lying.
He was doing a good job up until that point. He was doing a really good job of staying alive with those toggles. Like, I was impressed.
Yeah, well, Bagel of Doom now sitting on 1,300 gold on top of Treads and a Bassi. Is this Legion saving up for first item Blink?
You know what? Either a Blink or a Shadow Blade is what I'm gonna say that the first item is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to seeing Blink just in more professional play, but I think here in Pub, Shadow Blade, we've seen it get its work done. Bagel of Doom going in, has the duel going in immediately. Fantastic job blinking by the PA to help secure the kill. So another duel victory going her way. Gonna be using that regen here. Bagel of Doom, can he live through this? That Kraken Shell is doing so much work. But in the end, Bagel of Doom gets a double kill, kept alive by Press the Attack. Beautiful job there by the PA, making sure there's enough damage to bring the Tidehunter down.
You know, I'm very surprised with how aggressive Bagel of Doom has been, that she's only got one level in Moment of Courage and only two in Press the Attack.
Yeah, this Legion is just making it work for herself. I wouldn't see... I mean, in terms of net worth, she's 4th, but I think she's going to have one of the biggest impacts late game because she's getting the early duels that she needs. I think every duel she's been used has secured a kill. I missed a kill again. Report,
Evil
please.
Bob was in their secret shop farming their creeps, and Gyrocopter just came in and wrecked his face.
Absolutely. So Radiant, they're going to have to spend more resources keeping this top lane safe than they would have liked to. That means Dire are going to get some free push down bottom as Lion and Dazzle making it work. The two least scary right clickers actually getting down the wave. Going to be pushing up under the tower.
I just love the fact that it's the supports that are actually pushing the lanes out and trying to get a tower down.
Yeah. Alright, so there's going to be a TP in from the Enchantress. TP out by LD Visual. So Enchantress might be able to solo the Dazzle. Hopefully no super early grave. Oh no, it's a super early grave. And now Dan Peru just load going and smacking him up. The rage is going to expire pretty soon, but doesn't even matter as the impetus just chunks him down. Lifestealer getting the last hit on that. There's double damage Gyrocopter on the Radiant side, but I don't think it's going to make anything happen. Meanwhile, up top, we've got Silent Howl trying to do what he can. No more Ravage. That has been spent. There's another duel going in. Finger to secure the kill. Fantastic plays there by the Lion, making sure she goes down. Bagladoom does fall, but again, secures a duel before her death. Gyrocopter gets a double kill. This guy's actually pretty big now. LDS Visual might have to focus a little bit more attention on locking this guy down.
You know, the fantastic thing about Bagel of Doom is that even though she's died
Evil
quite a
Bob
few times...
Going in, gonna be taking a full rocket barrage to the face, but the armlet toggle keeping him healthy for now. My goodness, the Slardar hits so hard. Can he kill him before the missile hits? Yes, he does get him down. Now Evil Bob gonna be at like 1 HP as that turn the armlet off, Bob. Get back, Bob. Don't die here,
back
man.
to base. Run!
Slither. Slither, my fish. Yeah,
That's
so
great.
it's for 15 minutes in the game.
Yeah.
How's the momentum looking
Legion,
for you?
You know, Legion has died a couple times, so she's died 3 times. She's got 6 kills and has gotten 40 dual damage, and that's the important part. And she's going for Shadowblade, by the way. Even though she has died a couple times, she's still getting those duels, and that's the most important thing, is getting the dual wins. Because sure, you can have a PA carry the late game by herself, but it's a lot easier if you've also got a Legion doing just as much damage.
Absolutely. I took a look at the overall XP and net worth charts, and it's a lot closer than I would have thought. In terms of net worth, we are just a couple shekels above 0 right here. As
It's because of those 3 kills that the Gyro got at the top.
Yeah, I honestly would have expected it to be more in the Dire favor just because of the awesome plays coming out from the Legion. We've now got Silent Howl frogged up, hexed up, all Dinosaurus Fear, the T-Rex, going to be taking a gush to the face. There is actually a Lina going through, but the Lightstrike Array doesn't connect. Fantastic Earthspite, catching out all of the struggle, I think. All Dinosaurus Fear, the T-Rex. No TP! Didn't grab a TP going through the secret shop. I think that could have kept him alive if he graved and hopped out, but there's going to be a grave. No follow-up, so Dazzle sits here, waits for death, gets the poison touch out, does actually take down the Lina before he falls. So good job on Dazzle for making something out of it, but I think he could have lived down bottom.
It was a decision.
I mean, there's
it's a rough decision to make.
It was certainly a decision, and at least Dire got something out of it. But again, you never want to give up your Dazzle too many times in a row, because that just does end up feeding the enemy carries, and good golly, this Gyrocopter's fed. He's now taken a spot at top of the net worth chart.
At the very least, he got a kill off on the Lina as well, so it was a support for his supports. And they committed 3 heroes to lose 1. So when you're losing a hero to a lone Dazzle when you've got 3 with you, there's something going on there that's a little bit funky.
Alright, so Dire, they're going to be focusing their attention elsewhere, hopping up here to the top lane. Oh, I think LDS Visual might have to be a little bit careful. He's about to get jumped. There's going to be a Hex here onto the Gyrocopter to start things off, but Gyro going to be starting a missile here onto the Lion. I think he just walks out and prays for death. There's an Earth Spike there to keep. Oh my god, he's going in with the finger. There's going to be a call down here, so LDS Visual does end up falling, but they couldn't turn it. There's going to be an early grave again here onto the PA. Damn it, Peru just low, does secure a kill. There's going to be a 3rd Dire hero falling. Radiant, they're able to take off the Enchantress, but that's not worth.
Mistake after mistake there in that fight.
It's,
he had a perfect opportunity to shallow grave the LDS who was just about to die and, just needed 1 more right click from Lion. Or not from Lion, from Lifestealer, but he instead runs in and poison touches the Gyro.
I think that aggressive Dazzle build can work out. It's not detrimental, but he's skilled wrong if he wants to do that. If he wants to be the Dazzle that's all up in your face, run from me, he's got to put more points in the poison touch.
Poison touch.
Yeah. I mean, the 1 point has worked out tremendously. We saw him get that Lina kill on the top lane, but not enough. And I actually disagree. I don't think he should have put the Shallow Grave on the Lion. I think Lion was dead anyway. Lion already busted the finger, so it wasn't like he had an ult that he didn't get off in that fight. But I think you needed to wait a lot longer to Shallow Grave that PA until he's, 25% health.
Yeah, well, that too. I mean, what he could have done, though, is if he had Shallow Grave Lion, and, Lion could actually survive, they could have backed out instead of, committing, because after the Lion died, the PA was already jumping in after that, and there was a good 2 seconds between the moment when PA jumped in and Lion died.
Alright, so we're going to see some aggression from the Radiant side mid. They want to get this tower, but they're like, you know what, we haven't seen Dire in a while, better play this safe, and that's certainly the right play. Silent Howl, he's not got the Ravage for 50 seconds. I don't think he should be the first in line here.
Lion also is going for an Aether Lens right now.
I think with all the work that he's been doing with that Finger of Death, he should prioritize Ags.
I agree, and especially because the Radiant are grouped up very often. They're all together when they're in these fights, but he's going for that Aether Lens there, and Lina looks like she's going for either a Soul Ring or a Eul's.
That's got to be a Eul's. I think it's way too late in the game to get a Soul Ring.
Oh yeah, Voidstone. I missed the Voidstone.
Yeah, I was
I'm blind, apparently.
I mean, casual Voidstones are a thing. I actually would prefer her to start with the Staff of Wizardry rather than the Voidstone. I think it just adds a little bit more into the pool. We're going to see a big rotation in. Evil Bob going to be the first casualty, most likely, as, he just gets chunked. Lifestealer gets the kill on that. There's a call down spent, though. Still holding on to the Ravage. It's up in 1 second, up in no seconds. Ready to go here onto the tower. Dire do not have a fortify. They're going to bust it out right now to keep that tower alive as long as possible, but there's no defense planned. They just have to let it fall.
It's a free fortify, right? It slows them down.
Alright, so if you are... Let's play the game. If you're Legion Commander, who do you prioritize duels on?
I would honestly say either Lina or Lina or Gyro. Because you're not going to be able to kill Callens quickly enough with that Untouchable, and not until much later in the game. Gyro, if you can get him before he gets his abilities off, he's just going to melt.
Ooh, I got to ask you to hold that thought, as we've got a Hex here onto Bradsta. He's going to be Earth Spiked up. Hopefully he can get a call down, but there's a Ravage coming in. Call down to follow. This is going to be detrimental for the Dire, as they're all just going to get 3-man down. Evil Bob going in. He's got the arm lift, but it is not big enough. Fishman, you can't take on 4. I think that was just a little bit of a late initiation from the Slardar. If he had gotten in and had put that crush down initially, right after the Hex and the Earth Spike, maybe they could have made something of that, but the Slardar wasn't there, and it does not look good for the Dire right now.
It's because he's going for a BKB instead of a Blink Dagger. If he went for the Blink, I think that fight would have turned around quite a bit, but he is not. And PA, while she is going for a Battle Fury, she's not even close to it. She's still got like 500 gold left, and it's 22 minutes in the game.
Yeah, it's late. The farming has not been the best on the PA. I want to put that down to her just being in the mid lane and having to rotate and not be babysat, not be secured safe farm. You really got to put her in the safe lane, or heck, even near a jungle, if you want her to get a decent time Battle Fury. And like you mentioned, we're almost 23 minutes in the game, and Battle Fury nowhere to be found. Is the Radiant just out of control here?
They're not out of control. I think Bagel of Doom does have 50 damage from the duels, and she's got her Shadow Blade. Right now it looks like she's going for an AC or a Blade Mail.
Evil Bob.
I'm assuming it's going to be the Blade Mail.
There's a really nice weave from the Dazzle. Actually does catch out both the important Dire heroes and catches Bradsta getting that negative armor, the amplified damage from the Slardar. Whoops, misspoke.
What is with these Shallow Graves?
I kept Carrie safe. I helped. It's the Dazzle mentality.
He's obviously not gonna die there.
I kept him safe. My Carrie did not fall under my watch. We are gonna have a smoke up from the Dire. Dazzle's gonna reveal it. They're gonna be trying to break down Silent Howl the Crush. Not quite in range to do that, but they might be able to find out Callens here, going in with that long range impetus, destroying Dazzle's health pool.
That's half HP right there, and Dazzle almost has the mechanism, so that's going to be pretty close, and Lion hasn't gotten anything since he's gotten that energy booster. He is having trouble there.
Alright, so we've got Phantom Assassin doing what she needs to do, finishing up the Battle Fury by hopping into the jungle. What does the late game look like? Because obviously I love Phantom Assassin as a carry, I love Legion Commander as a carry. Is there just room on the map? Are there kills enough to feed both of these hungry ladies?
Well, Slardar almost has his BKB done. He's going to have that finished in about 900 gold. So if he can manage to get the BKB and get a good crush on somebody, then the Legion can actually do quite a bit of work.
Ooh, duel down bottom. Silent Howl gets picked off. That's like another duel win for the Legion Commander. Exactly like you said. 64 duel damage at 24 minutes. So every time this Legion's gone in, she's gotten something out of it, and that's fantastic. So Bagel of Doom feeling real comfortable here. It looks like going for a Blade Mail. I like that pickup a lot. I think it's going to give Gyrocopter a taste of his own medicine.
And she is a fairly tanky hero. I mean, she's obviously a strength carry, but she is fairly tanky right now. She's got 1300 HP. So, and especially with that press the attack and moment of courage, if Gyro opens up a salvo on her, then Gyro's going to be feeling the pain.
Oh, we got another grave here. Phantom Assassin safe with 75% HP. You got her. Good job, Dazzle. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Dazzle is going to be going for the mechanism, adding to his heal potential. He does have max Shadow Wave as well. That's going to be helping things out a lot. He's getting kind of close to the mechanism. It only needs about 200 more gold.
Nice. I think that once he finally gets that, it'll be better in the fights. And he needs to not get caught out by all of these initiations. Like, every time there's been a fight so far, he has been caught out and died, so he hasn't even been able to get the Shallow Grave on any of the carries.
Alright, Smoke is going to pop here as Bradsta gets a little too close for comfort, but all the Dire heroes not really wanting to mess just yet. They have strong initiation, but what they need to do is find the Radiant, pick them off one by one, because Radiant have pretty strong team fight. Combine the Call Down, combine the Tidehunter Ravage, it's going to get kind of ugly here, and Bradsta going to be diving in deep, trying to find Phantom Assassin. She's pretty slippery though, and there is going to be Bagel of Doom going in with a duel, but that might be a little bit preemptive. I don't know if they have the damage to finish that off. Bagel of Doom getting very, very low. Ravage connects, and now Bagel of Doom might end up falling. Doesn't give away a duel, but two Dire heroes lose their life. That's two carries on the Dire losing their life. Dazzle probably going to be falling. Use your Shallow Grave, buddy! No, the one time when you needed it. Oh, man.
He was stun locked. He couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I know. I'm giving him a little bit of a hard time. There's going to be a missile trying to catch out LDS Visual. Run, little buddy. No! Ooh, that did a lot of damage.
Oh, he maxed out that missile right at the beginning, so this is... It almost goes out of line. It was just hilarious. Oh, he's got his Ring of Health now, so he's only about, what, 600 gold away from the recipe now for his Aether Lens?
What? Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a good first item. I think his Earth Spike has been absolutely on point, and having a longer range to get your Hex out is gonna be fantastic, because he's been using that very, very well, particularly on the Gyrocopter and the Tidehunter, to make sure they don't get their big team fight ultis off, but I just think there could be so much more work done with the Ags, because at this point, your burst damage is coming from PA crits, and PA is underfarmed.
Yeah, and I mean, that 8% extra damage on the ult as well is nothing to, laugh at. It's pretty substantial.
Alright, double invisibility here on Bagel of Doom. Smoked up. Gonna be Shadow Bladed up as well. They want to find something, but oh, you're underneath a Sentry Ward, Bob. There's gonna be a nice double crush here. Release of the BKB from Evil Bob going in. They want to catch out Bradsta, but he's BKB'd up as well. They're gonna get a duel off. Fantastic duel pick here onto the Gyrocopter. Crush off the mark from Evil Bob. Wish he had a Blink Dagger, but he's going to be used up by the Lina. Lina not able to cast that Light Strike Array because she was. Really nice job. LDS Visual going in. Slardar gets the kill for that. So Dire makes something of this. I thought that was going to be detrimental to them.
Oh yeah, that was very well done. I mean, they waited, I think, a little bit too long before that initiation. I mean, he was, Legion was invis and running right towards someone, and then turned around, and then went back in, and then turned around again. Was a little bit of miscommunication there, but it turned out pretty well in the end.
Alright, so Slardar, please pick up a Blink Dagger next. He is saving up a good chunk of money. I think Evil Bob, if he gets that Blink Dagger, he's going to land some of the most clutch Blink Crushes I've ever seen, because even without it, he's just slithering into the heart of a fight, dunking down, using that W skill to the best of his ability, and it's really paying off, but that range, just given to you by the Blink Dagger, is going to be so important.
I mean, and especially... Oh, no, he's going for AC, alright. He's just going to completely ignore everything that he can't hear us say 5 days ago.
Yeah, man, come on, listen to us! You should know what we're going to say 5 days from now, looking at your cast from a third-party perspective. So there is going to be some priority... Oh, Evil Bob gets a regen rune. That's exactly what he wished for Christmas. He has less money now. What's he buying? Did he get the blink? Where's the courier?
He got himself a plate mail.
Why did you do this thing? You need mobility.
He's going for an AC, told you. Yes, he does need the mobility, but he's ignoring it.
Alright. Whoops. Either way, we've got Phantom Assassin building up the way I'd like. Now she's gonna go for her BKB. She's got a blink built in, so that's something that she doesn't need to worry about too hard. I like the BKB on her. I think she's gonna finish it up at a reasonable time after her difficult start with the Battle Fury. But is her right-click damage gonna be enough to go up against super tanky heroes like the Lifestealer and the Tidehunter?
You know, I'm not sure, and Clans has rushed Moonshard and Dragonlance instead of the Ags for the extra damage. I'm not entirely sure why, but alright.
Oh, Kalan's trying to go for the juke, but that Enchantress, oh my god, the untouchable!
Oh.
Having to pop the
Got 2
BKB!
bashes in a row.
No, man, but having to pop the BKB so untouchable won't affect you, that's some next level stuff right there. Evil Bob going in, gets the crush here onto Silent Howl. Ravage being popped as well. Meanwhile, up top, we've got some all-out brutality here against the Lifestealer, trying to go for the Shallow Grave, but it's on cooldown. No, man. So now Dan Peru just load is going to be falling to LDS Visual. Down bottom again, more action as Slardar desperately wants to finish off Silent Howl. Going in, gets the bash, gets another right click. Finds himself his 10th kill of the game. That's a team wipe for the Dire.
And you know what? That is a massive chunk of gold there going to that line too. He ended a streak, and I think it was around 900 gold that went directly to him. So he could get himself, I mean, a Dagon or a Blink Dagger, well, almost a Blink Dagger. But he's close to a lot of items if he wants.
Yeah, he's definitely hitting his peak. Lion is actually surpassing both the Lina and the Dazzle. He's 8th on the net worth chart, but for a support that hasn't had a whole lot of space to get anything, he's doing great. He now has the completed Ether, and like you mentioned, 2,100 gold on top of that. Get a Blink, get an Ags, get whatever you want, man. Treat yourself.
I think the Blink is probably the item to get right here.
Yeah, I mean, I love mobility as much as the next, but good golly, I love Ags on Lion. It feels so dirty going in and just chunking in.
It feels so good, just like a massive wave or a team fight, just wham, ripping all their faces out. But a Blink is obviously the better item here.
I mean, objectively, yeah, but let's hope Lion saves up for a Rapier. I don't know, that'd be good. No, we're going to see a Blink picked up, and that's certainly the smart choice, so good on you, LDS. Doing what you should be. Gyrocopter's farm has fallen off just a little bit. He's fallen to 4th on the net worth chart when he was leading for a good while, so I think that's just because
Lifestealer went and farmed. Like, he was farming the jungles and the ancients and everything, so he got quite a bit of farm from that, and Gyro was roaming around with his team trying to get pickoffs, and those didn't really pan out for him. Although Bakengamu does have the BKB now, so that's 2 BKBs on the Dire side.
Alright, Dazzle going in.
With Bagel of Doom.
Did you see how aggressively that Dazzle warded? And the fact that he's not being punished for that is fantastic. But Bagel of Doom wants this so bad. Going in! Oh, the jukes. The Gyrocopter going in. Evil Bob does end up dominating on the backlines, but we've got a duel here onto Bradster going through the... Oh, finally a grave! That's really doing something. Make sure that the duel isn't given away. Legion Commander actually ends up getting the kill there. How is she living? She's so tanky! Holy heck! That Blade Mail...
That was a good shallow grave.
That was a really good shallow grave, and the fact that Legion Commander actually got off her press the attack before she went in for the duel, that's entirely what kept her alive.
And, you know, like, that shallow grave, too, was fantastic. Right on point. And then everyone wasted their ults on her, right? Too. Except for Ravage. Ravage was not used.
Whew. Alright.
That was good. Well done.
That was well done. And now Dire...
Dinosaur.
They feel like they're in a very good position of power. They're tossing out casual daggers onto Dan Peru. We are going to see the gold and the net worth tip into Dire's favor just a little bit now, but let's hope they can capitalize on that lead.
And Legion's almost got the BKB as well. It's going to be 900 gold, and she'll have it.
Is it just me, or is Slardar's tongue moving as he walks? That's freaking me out. Alright, I was not paying attention right there. We got an all-out team fight as Enchantress doing what she can to Impetus from the high ground, doing so much damage with the Shallow Grave, keeping Dazzle alive for now. He will end up falling. We're going to have Bagel of Doom being chunked down by a Gush, by an Impetus, Blink in from the Tidehunter, doing what he can. Anchor Smash going to be on the point, but Bagel of Doom trying to run. Impetus finally finishes her off. And now it's going to be Evil Bob just being an animal. Did you see that crit there from the Phantom Assassin?
That was a great, right there. That was a great crit. And there has been no crit priming from Bakengamu yet either.
Alright, so Bradsta, he's kind of feel like, you know, he's losing his impact. He just clawed his way up from 5th on the net worth chart. No real item progress, and I think that's like you said, he hasn't been prioritizing farming. He's just kind of been rotating around looking for kills, and the kills he's getting are alright, but he needs the items to go with them.
I don't think he's gotten kills in like the last 4 or 5 minutes either.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just going more and more in Dire's favor. Take a look at the net worth chart and check that turnaround the last like 4 minutes of the game.
That is huge.
That is absolutely enormous. Dire are starting to roll over this, and I think it's in no shortage because of the Legion Commander with 106 dual damage.
Oh yeah, not only that dual damage, but PA is actually finally now getting items. She's just got a Skull Basher and a Morbid Mask, so she's finally getting the items she needs at the 34-minute mark, which is fantastic.
Absolutely. This is a huge
Slugger's got the AC as well.
Oh, he's got it, finally. Where's your blink,
now
buddy?
Get a blink. Nope,
no,
he's
MKB.
Javelin, so he's going for Skull... No, he's going for an MKB, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Not
MKB...
That's useless on Slayer.
I mean, he is a Skull Basher. We're diving deep here from Evil Bob, going all the way into the Ancient Pit, denying Gyrocopter that farm that he so desperately needs. And I don't think there's any punishment here, as Evil Bob, that aggressive play really paid off for him. Could have easily gone the other way if he had known how many Radiant heroes were waiting for him.
Like this is a pretty big turnaround too in this game. I mean, like we said, just 10 minutes ago it was 7,500 in the Radiant's favor, and now it's almost 8,000 in the Dire's favor. So that's like a 20,000 gold swing there. Oh, LDS.
LDS visual, no! And he couldn't get the Earth Spike either, but there's a duel to follow up. They could actually get the kill here. Damperu just load another win. Goes the way of Legion Commander. That's what I call a worth trade. Get down the Lifestealer for a support line. Absolutely LDS visual. You are right there with the all chat.
He did not mean... He blinked right onto the Lifestealer and didn't manage to get anything off for the Rage. Like, that was some good reaction time by Damperu.
Absolutely. So now the Radiant are definitely on the back foot here. It seemed like they had such commanding lead. They were able to charge down the mid not 10 minutes ago and fear nothing but Dire. They're getting it back on the backs of their right clickers. This Phantom Assassin, like you mentioned, she's got the Basser, she's got the Battle Fury, going to be going into probably a Satanic at some point if she can get the farm, and now she's just going to chunk down Lina. Lina going in with the defensive Yules. Can she cast a Light Strike Array? Not nearly in time. There's going to be a missile heading here for the Phantom Assassin. And Gyrocopter wants the kill desperately, but he's going to have to unload anything to get a shot at it. There's going to be a BKB. She doesn't care about your missile. She's going to turn right back on you. It's a war of the BKBs. Tidehunter comes in, threatening that Ravage. Does Phantom Assassin continue to go in this? She blinks in again with another crit. She gets the crit on the Gyrocopter. Oh.
That was a cleave. That was the cleave kill.
Oh, buddy. That was fun to watch.
She cleaved Silent Howl, and then Gyro was just...
Alright, Bagel of Doom going in. Takes a while to prep here. The Untouchable not going to be doing too much to save the life of the Enchantress right there. And that's 978 duel victories on that Legion Commander's Arcana.
Lifestealer has given up, it appears.
Rest in pieces, buddy.
And you know what? It's just a couple of misplays from him. Like I don't think he's itemized properly either. He still has the Quelling Blade and the Ogre Venom without getting anything.
Radiant! They're doing it. They're going in. There's going to be a Yules here onto the Lifestealer to let his Rage or onto the Phantom Assassin to let the Rage expire on that. But it's bye. I mean, they get the kill that they desperately needed, which is to take out the Phantom Assassin. But Gyrocopter's still dead, and it took pretty much all the Radiant heroes to do it. I thought that was Rage. It was actually open wounds. Sorry.
That PA kill wasn't even that big of a deal because it was only 500 gold, and 500 gold at the 40-minute mark of the game is nothing.
Alright, so Evil Bob goes in, secures a tower. There's going to be a Lifestealer inside of the Tidehunter, and I mean, Evil Bob, he's just manning up. Can he actually get down Silent Howl? I think he will fall. The Armlet can only save you for so long. He does end up going down. Lifestealer gets a much-needed kill. Meanwhile, Radiant's Courier is taken out in the side shot by the Legion Commander, or the Lion. I think it was either the Lion or the Legion Commander. Lion going in. He does grab up the Blink Dagger. He's got 1,100 gold on top of that, which isn't the fastest farm, because he grabbed up that Blink Dagger like 5, 6, 7 minutes ago.
And, you know, I didn't notice this, but apparently PA got rid of the Morbid Mask in order to get Deso.
It's not great. It's not the worst.
No, it's not.
I could think of worse things to get, Okay, we got a Legion Commander, Shadowbladed up, looking for a kill. We're gonna be going in Hex there onto Bradsta, making sure there's no BKBs for that buddy. Going in with a Finger of Death, too, feeding Legion Commander a kill on a Silver Spoon. Congrats to the Lion right there. And now Legion Commander at 160 duel damage, and 2 sets of Guardian Greaves.
That bonus damage that Legion's got right now is almost more than Lifestealer's total damage.
I mean, he's going to be trying to go for that MKB on top of a Basher? Okay.
I guess, yep. Yeah,
I mean,
not?
They really want to get through...
Scotty or anything, sure.
The MKB is 100% for Phantom Assassin because she's so obnoxious, but why keep the Basher? I just feel like that was kind of a not great use of forethought.
The bashes can't be dodged either, so that is also a good option. But he could have gone for an Abyssal too and keep PA locked down so that, you know, she can actually die to the other heroes who have the damage to put her down, like the Laguna Blade.
I totally missed that kill. I just heard the duel sound and I'm like, alright, Legion's gonna get a kill. Let's just watch someone AFK farming.
It was a duel and someone died, that's it.
It's, yeah, how the game's been going for the last couple of dozen minutes. So it's looking really good for the Dire. They're going to have to find a way to throw this game if they want to give it away. And in terms of XP, they're about 8,000 ahead of the Radiant and over 12,000 net worth. So that's just big items that are there on the side of the Dire that are not yet on the side of the Radiant.
And Legion is going to get a Silver Edge right now, which I think is a decent choice. You know, you can get a Satanic as well if you want, but a Silver Edge isn't bad. It'll get rid of the Kraken Shell for sure.
Alright, so Evil Bob has completed his Monkey King bar, so he's now like a solid 4 slotted on top of Boots. Can we please get a Blink Dagger now?
I'm not even sure who that MKB is for, considering they don't have any evasion on their side.
It doesn't break Enchantress is untouchable, so I don't know. Alright, we are going to have a pretty good Grave here on a Self-Grave on the Dazzle, trying to keep Phantom Assassin from getting bashed up, but that MKB is working wonders there, as Phantom Assassin does follow Dazzle's next on the list. He's going to try to do what he can, but he will die as well, so Radiant feeling good about those 2 pickoffs, but little do they know, we've got some spooky heroes here ready to hit hard if they go too deep.
Yeah, they're doing a fairly good job of actually staying relevant in this game. I mean, it's a tough battle that the Radiant have ahead of them, but they can manage to pull it off as long as the Dire keep making mistakes like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a case of like, oh, Dazzle, come with me, buddy, we'll get kills, and they realize they can't go up against all 5 of the Radiant heroes just yet. Gyrocopter, he has a good amount of gold in his bank right now. Does he level up into Satanic, or does he pick up a Sanch and Yasha? What's he gotta get to make himself impactful?
He needs any damage item.
Alright, Bagel of Doom.
What it is.
Good golly, I think she might have to finish this very quick, as Radiant, they want a taste of this Roshan. She's gonna go in, she has the press of the attack, she's going in, she's getting quick, she ends up dropping her Ring of Bassi, picks up the Aegis, now she's gonna go in, she's gonna Shadowblade herself up, fantastic reflex from that. That's actually a Silver Edge. I didn't realize she had leveled it, and all the Radiant being like, oh, what? What happened? How do we get her? And Lifestealer, he's gonna be consoled by these Ancients.
Down. They had sentries, but they just didn't place them. Like, Gyro was there, he had a sentry on him, but he didn't decide to use it.
Yep.
Not sure why.
Seems like the Dire, they had a couple slip-ups here and there, but they've got their momentum back. Now with the Aegis on the Legion Commander, they can certainly start to push high ground. I'm surprised no racks have been taken just yet.
I think that there's going to be a team fight right here, and one of the teams is going to end up getting the racks and winning this game just from this team fight. I feel like it's most likely going to be the Radiant just because, or the Dire, just because they have 2 more towers, so even if they team wipe, at the most, the Radiant will be able to get 1 set of racks and maybe a T2.
I love when Lifestealer turns on his armlets and hops inside someone, he just gets little headlights on the ground.
Yeah.
So we got laser beams on the Gyrocopter. We're going to see Bagel of Doom. Duel's up and ready to go. We've got the Silver Edge. We've got the Blade Mail. Can we just dive here all in onto the Radiant heroes that are now pushing up very aggressively? What's the Radiant plan here? Yeah, they got the call down. They've got the Lifestealer ready to pop. Gyrocopter actually has a Gem of Truth sight as well. Is that just for dewarding purposes, or do they buy it just for Legion Commanders?
It's for Legion. It is only for Legion.
I feel like there's a flaw in the logic there, because if you're getting close enough to see an Invis Legion, then she's close enough to kill you. Now, Evil Bob gonna be popping that BKB, gets the crush off, there's gonna be a Ravage as well. Evil Bob getting very, very low, gets blown up by the Laguna Blade, but Slardar manages to take out the Gyrocopter before he falls. Now, there's gonna be another duel here. Oh, there's the finger of death I love to see. Dan Peru just low, not falling fast enough for Legion to get the duel win, but she will still find the kill. There's a gem on the ground. No one even cares at this point. They're focusing all their attention here. There's a bash on the dagger, getting down the Enchantress. So gem is dropped, it's going to be picked up by the Dire. I think that might just be enough of a lead for Dire to capitalize and win the game.
Lina focused on the wrong hero with that Laguna Blade. She has her Ags, she used it on Slardar, and then while PA was just critting everybody and murdering their entire team.
Whew. Alright, so while the Radiant is dead for like half a minute at least, what can Dire do to capitalize this? Do they push out all their lanes? Do they go for one single lane of racks? Do they just go for a wipe on the tier 3s? What's the plan here?
Dire just grab themselves a racks and back out and then win another team fight and go for another one. That's all you need.
Alright, so we are going to be pushing up. We've got a wave. Bagel of Doom is hitting freaking hard. She's at like a rapier tier damage here, just with her items and those dual wins. There's going to be a 4-5 pop. That's enough to drive off the Dire heroes for now. I feel like they could have weathered the storm. It's just Alina and a Tidehunter, and Tidehunter has no Ravage for another minute.
The Aegis is still up on Bagel, so they probably want to do something out of this. Actually, Legion's got 2600 HP right now.
She's a big girl.
That is significant.
Alright, LDS
and she just
Visual.
bought a Reaver.
LDS Visual's gonna be in some trouble. There's a missile coming for him. He's gonna blink across the river. Fantastic reaction time there. Shallow Grave. No, we're not gonna see another Shallow Grave there from the Dazzle. LDS Visual's just gonna get healed up to full with those Guardian Greaves, and now we've got a rotation in. Bagel of Doom wants something here. Got the Shadow Walk, and is gonna find out the Gyrocopter going in. They're gonna get the Rocket Barrage though. There's a good amount of damage getting sprayed. The duel's still going on. Do they get it in time? They do. So Legion Commander securing 981 victories on that pretty little cosmetic there. Looks like Centaur Warrunner in the icon, actually. Not very, very feminine face gear.
Not really, no.
Either way,
that comes with the Arcana.
Yeah, she's she's hitting like a bus, essentially.
Yeah. One thing I do love to get though on a Legion is first of all not lifesteal, a Mjolnir.
That does hurt. Itemization, perhaps mistake, perhaps strategic. Evil Bob No. Evil Bob picks himself up a Desolator, but take a look at PA. We already got one. Do they need 2 Desolators?
Yeah, that's true. No, they don't need 2 Desolators, but why not?
Do they need 1 Desolator?
At this point, you might as well.
Alright, so PA just dives in, 2 shots to Lina. She's not going to be BKB'd up. The Shallow Grave actually doing a little bit of work there, keeping her alive. There's going to be a Ravage, connects onto all 4 heroes. Maybe this is the last stand. There's going to be a duel going on. The duel victory does not go through. That's not going to be a victory, but still a kill. Phantom Assassin, she's still alive. All of the Radiant heroes are down. Shallow Grave for the fun of it on the Phantom Assassin, securing the first set of racks of the game, while meanwhile up top, Evil Bob does his work there with the Armlet and his Desolator and no Blink Dagger. And this is going to be Megas.
Salty about that lack of Blink Dagger.
You know what? It's just such a core item on Slardar. I think if he had the mobility, this game could have been over 10 minutes ago.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
He's gonna go fountain diving now.
Hopefully...
Or maybe not.
Hopefully this is just the end game here, as we're diving on the tier 4s. Props to Dire for not getting too cheeky and going in and playing with their advantage. There's going to be a missile here onto Evil Bob, but he does not care. Just going to armlet through it. Oh no, BKB through it and turns onto the Gyrocopter. 3 shots him down. Evil Bob is having none of that.
Dazzle buys him
Goodbye. Good work, Dazzle.
Yeah.
Fantastic endgame pickup there.
Skewing the stats on, Dazzle victories with a rapier.
Oh boy, that was a game to watch.
That was fantastic.
MVP here.
I'm gonna say Slardar.
Slardar, I gotta go with the Legion Commander. Every single early duel resulted in damage, and that snowballed astronomically into the late game. By the end, she was hitting like she had a rapier. Of course, Dazzle is hitting like he actually has a rapier. So there's some good old tips flying around. Fantastic work here from the Dyer. They had a rough start in the beginning, but they brought it all together, so I hope you enjoyed that replay cast. I am being joined by the lovely Bronin. Tell us where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Bronin or on Twitter at Broninheim.
Alright, thanks so much for joining me, man. I'm going to be casting these games all night, but for now, I am Annie, aka Android. If you enjoyed the cast, feel free to like, subscribe, follow, whatever you want to do. If you'd like to have your replay casted, you can submit it to me at anniecasts@gmail.com. There we go. And we can talk, price on replays and all that fun stuff there. So thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, hope to see you next time.